Alrighty, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 Viz series I think you should absolutely be checking out if you have not already. Some of these are more well known while other ones are, I would say, gaining more popularity kind of now than they did when they first released. These are also all ongoing series, technically speaking. I don't believe any of them are finished, and they also all have 10 or 11 volumes or under, so it's not like it's a 20 volume series that you're going to be getting yourself into right now. Now these are all series that I am currently reading and I am currently picking up as the new volumes release. I would title this Shonen Jump series, but they're not all technically Shonen Jump. There are 2 series within this group of 5, which are not Shonen Jump. I believe they're Shonen Sunday. Before this video starts, before I even give you guys my picks, I actually want you guys to go down to the comments and let me know what your choice would be if you were to recommend someone a Viz title right now to read. It can be Shonen Jump, Shonen Sunday, whatever, but put it down in the comments, and I am curious if we have one of the same picks or if you have a different choice. Without further ado, let's get right into this. The first one that I recommend you guys check out if you have not already is, I believe it's pronounced Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. This is volume 1. I believe there's 3 volumes out currently. The 4th one is releasing very soon. So it's something with just a couple of volumes out that you can catch up on really quick if you wanted to buy it physically. So far, the best way I could describe this story, I have 2 volumes. I want to get some more, but I do want to kind of put this out there as a lot of other people are also recommending it. This is a story about Frieren, who is a mage, also kind of an elf. I forget exactly what her title is, but I believe it's a mage. She lives much longer than other people, and the story kind of, it's interesting how it starts out, because it actually starts out at the end of this giant journey, this giant battle where her and her partners were victorious. They come back and they're like made statues and stuff like that, and it's really cool. But then you kind of get a little more into the story, and there's a lot of time skips. So she's off doing her own thing. She's not aging at all, pretty much, and I think they probably started when they were like teenagers or like early 20s, and you come back and you see the characters 20 years later, 40 years later, 60 years later, and obviously some of those characters, or all those characters, sorry, who are human, they start getting old and all this, and she's not, and she doesn't really understand the whole concept of the fact that like humans have such a short life, so she doesn't really think much of it. She doesn't really visit most of those friends, and as you can kind of tell, she tends to regret that later on. I don't want to get too much into the story though. I do want you guys to experience it, but I will say it is a different manga. So far, at least, it looks at the ideas of life and kind of how short life is for other people, but not for her. The next series, which has, I believe, 7 or 8 volumes out right now, is Call of the Night. And this has been recommended by a bunch of my friends on Discord. This is a very interesting manga. I definitely had to put this in there. I would like to hear what you guys think of it as well. I do think it's pretty good. It's kind of a different type of like rom-com with some like darker elements. Essentially what the story is you have this kid who has insomnia, has a ton of trouble sleeping. He goes out one night. He likes to kind of walk around at night and just, I don't know, relax. That's kind of more of his peaceful time. And he comes in contact with this vampire, and this vampire is this girl, and essentially where the story goes down is he wants to become a vampire, but the only way to become a vampire is to fall in love with a girl. And I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but if you read it, it is kind of funny. There are some, like I said, there are some kind of darker moments, but so far I haven't experienced like super dark, but I hear from multiple people that the story in the manga only gets better and better and better. So the next series, I am 7 volumes deep. This I think volume 8 releases in probably August, but this is something that I heavily recommend. This is one of, if not my favorite, like definitely my favorite ongoing Shonen Jump right now. Just, I don't know why, I just really connect with this manga. I find it hilarious. I find it really fun to read every single volume. Enough talking, let me show you guys. I highly recommend you guys check out Mashle. Now, Mashle Magic and Muscles is not for everybody. I'm gonna say I love this. If you guys have watched my videos recently, within the last couple months, you would probably know that I always talk about this. Whenever I get the volume, I read it that day. But honestly, Mashle is just such a fun story. And I've said this before, and I don't want to keep oversaying it, but I do think, in my opinion, it's a bit of a mixture of a Harry Potter and One Punch Man. But you can't, don't go into this manga expecting these like huge, super close battles. go into it thinking more of, once again, One Punch Man, Dragon Ball, things where the main character is kind of OP. He doesn't look overpowered, but he is. This is really just a manga that I would say don't overthink if you want to enjoy it. Very quick synopsis. Basically, you have this society where people have magic and other people don't have magic. Now, Mash doesn't have magic. He basically overcomes that through working out, and he gets enrolled into this school where you're only supposed to have magic. Imagine Harry Potter. And he's trying to make it to, I forget the exact name, but basically make it to the very top of the school. And just watching him beat the crap out of everybody who has magic and who are supposed to be like super powerful is just very, very funny to me. You might not like it, I don't know, I can't tell you, but I recommend checking this out for yourself and letting me know. Next series, which there are only 3 volumes of so far, so you can get on this really quick. I believe all the volumes should be in stock, so I highly recommend checking this out because this volume is really good, volume 2 was really good, volume 1 was really good, but this series is Kaiju number 8. Before I give you my opinion, obviously, I just want to give you a quick synopsis actually at the beginning. So you have this man named Kafka who is a kaiju cleanup person. So basically imagine like a garbage man, but cleaning up the dead corpses of giant monsters that show up in Tokyo, or not Tokyo, but Japan. He's not a part of the guys who kill the monsters, but he's a part of the guys who clean them up. But that's only the beginning, I would say, of volume 1. Most of the story comes into effect where he wants to apply to become one of the guys who kills the monsters. He's on the older end of things, so he's like, I think 32 or 33, so basically he only had 1 year to be able to join before he hits the maximum like applicant age. But in volume 1, he basically ends up in the hospital after this issue he had during a moment where Kaiju showed up unexpectedly. He's in the hospital bed, this like little creature thing basically jumps down his throat and he turns into a actual like a monster himself. But it's a humanoid monster which later on he's able to control and kind of go back and forth. It's pretty overpowered. And so far the series is about him in the corpse, or basically the special force like kaiju killing team, where he is also a kaiju and he's put in multiple positions where he has to kind of go back and forth but not expose himself or he will most likely be killed. It was a very heavy action manga, or heavy action shonen, while still being some comedy here and there. I really enjoy this though. I made a video way back in the day when chapter 1 dropped on the Shonen Jump app and basically hyped it up, so I had to throw it in here because this in Mashle, every volume that comes out, I basically try to read it the day I get it. And the last volume, which I feel obligated to put in here, 99% of you guys have already heard of this. I would say probably 80% of you have already bought a volume 1 at least, but because part 2 is coming, I gotta throw this in. I can't leave this out when a whole nother part is coming onto this. We have Chainsaw Man. So out of all the series I listed today, this is the series with the most volumes at 11, but right now is the perfect time. You don't have to even buy the physicals if you don't want to. If you want to read it online, that's perfectly fine. This recommendation is for just in general Viz titles, but this is the perfect time to get either into Chainsaw Man or to get back into Chainsaw Man, because I believe next week or in a couple weeks, part 2 is coming out for this manga. Volume 11 ends off, and that's the first part. Think of it, I guess, almost maybe like JoJo's, but just in the way that it's parted. I don't think part 2 is going to be like a totally different story or anything, sometimes like JoJo's, but I believe it's the first half of the series. And people can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's essentially how I'm hearing that it's playing out. But I highly doubt I need to describe Chainsaw Man for you guys, so this is something I had to throw in. I highly recommend you check it out. And those are my 5 choices. I probably could have added more, but these are the 5 that I am reading currently that are Viz and kind of more so Shonen Jump related. If you guys have some recommendations, of course leave them down below. I would love to hear them. And I do plan on making another video of manga that I am really enjoying right now and I am reading that isn't necessarily kind of Shonen Jump or Shonen Sunday related. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.